What's up, guys? It's Caleb, the Heikin Ashi investor. In this video, I'm going to go over my first day of trading the 10K challenge through TradeDay. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the M2K, the micro Russell contracts. I ended up taking two trades. I took one yesterday afternoon for a profit. This is after commissions of $98.92. And then I took one again this morning and for a loss of $37.12. So I ended up plus $61 total on my first day of training. So only $939 left to go to my $1,000 profit target. So let me just show you my chart here real quick and walk through quickly what it was I was looking at when these trades happened and when I took them. So yesterday afternoon, we got into the market, and let me make this a little bit bigger. So a couple things I have on my chart here. I got the volume profile over here on the right, and that goes back about 200 bars. And this is the beginning of the day right here. So what I was looking for as the market opened up is the day before, so Friday, was this gross, choppy, range bound trading day. And so I really wanted to kind of see, from here to here, very range bound, not a whole lot happened. Not what you want to be trading in for most people unless you're scalping, definitely not with Heikin Ashi candlesticks. So I'm looking for this to do something, go somewhere, show me a trend in one direction or the other. What I have here with these pink dashed lines are just the high and the low of the prior day session. And then if I zoom out here on a very large time basis, what I'm looking for is I'm sort of bearish biased at the moment. You can see this downtrend price just keeps moving down. And so I'm more so looking for short trades. But if the setup's there, I would go long as well. So the market opened up. We went big jump. I'd never traded the first few. Waited for it to settle down a little bit. It did do that. Settled down into a handful of these doji candles. And really what I was doing was just kind of keeping an eye on it and waiting to see if something was going to happen out of that consolidation. So here to here, things were getting pretty tight. And then we saw the first break. So my moving average here, we started seeing some lower lows be put in as we start moving down with these red candles. And we also broke through this trend line. And down here in the bottom, my price action had fallen underneath the zero line and was moving down. So I said, okay, I think a trend is forming. And I went ahead and went short. Like I said in my video, I am going to be attempting to get a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Now, and I did also say in the last video where I was telling you my strategy for this challenge, that will change depending upon the time of the day. A 3-to-1 is asking quite a bit out of the Russell in these hours here. This is 3 p.m. Hawaii time, so 9 p.m. Eastern. Doesn't quite move that much. You see this nice big move over here on the right that happened right around 2:30, 3:30 a.m. So 8:30, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That doesn't happen in the overnight hours. So I set my goal actually for a 2-to-1. You can see that I had my stop here right above the resistance of these dojis, and then my profit target was down here. It actually was set around a 2, and then as this trend was developing and really moving nicely, I moved it down a little bit more. I basically made it even with uh, this prior low over here. So price came right down there and touched that. A lot of the time duration, this is a 2.5 hour long trade. I was not sitting in front of my screen watching every 15-minute candle print. I was doing things. And so throughout the course of this trade, I had a trailing stop on trade of 8, and it just kept inching its way down, down, and down. And then finally, I was able to cash in somewhere right around down here. Worked out really well for me to be pretty much the bottom of that move. That hardly ever happens. And I don't try to catch bottoms, but that worked out nicely. Now, if it would have pulled back, I would have lost about 20 ticks of profit, and I would have got stopped out right here with the trailing stop. So all in all, a really nice really nice move, and then it actually shot itself right back up to the previous day high, but I didn't try to take that trade. Now, fast forward to this morning, once I'm up and at 'em, I usually get my eyeballs on the screen about 6:30 to 7 a.m. Hawaii time, so that's 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I typically am always going to miss the opening bell move and the first part of the day. So I'm not going to catch on those huge things, but that's okay. That's just the nature, or the reality rather, of me living out here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So I got up this morning. I see the market. We shot pretty low. I actually had written right here. This is some analysis I had done. My eyeballs were looking at the 1900 level, which is this red line down here. Market shot through the previous day low, came to 1907, and then bounced back up into more of this high volume range. So I was watching and watching. Uh, saw this moving up. For a second, I thought maybe we have a melt up back into this range up here. But once it started rolling over, I said, okay, I think maybe we might get a turn back down to the previous day lows again, down into this lower volume area. So I entered into a short trade, and then I set my stop loss up here at the high of this doji, because that's going to be the swing, and it didn't work out. I think it was in profit. I was up maybe 10, 12, $13. I bought 3 contracts because that's how much my $50 risk would afford. And it flirted around. A lot of indecision was happening here. The more this went on, the more nervous I got. Fortunately, I had also had a trailing stop set because I was doing other things. That trailing stop kept inching its way down and down and down, and then I ultimately got stopped out somewhere right around 1925 and change in here. So it wasn't the complete 32 tick stop that I had put up earlier, but it was ultimately a loss. So after commissions and fees, those 3 contracts, $37 loss. So that's it. My first 2 trades, won one and lost one. So far, I'm batting 50%, and I am net positive $61 on my way to this challenge. So stay tuned for what day 2 has to offer.